And welcome back to another special episode of the Cryptcast. Joining me today is the lovely Zay Overseer.
I was going to do something cute where I say the same thing I said at the start of the very first Cryptcast we did, but in that episode I said Catgirl's ready to party, and I'm sick of saying that, so hi everybody.
Perfect. And joining us today is a former member now back for a reunion, Nintles.
Hey, I'm back!
Whoa!
Things have changed since the last time I've been here. That's for sure.
We painted the house green. I hope you like it because we're not changing the color.
It was his idea.
Yeah, this is a special reunion episode from our first episode of Cryptcast, the old Cryptcast with the old logo.
Yeah,
I like the new logo now. It's really cool. So the three of us back together.
Yeah, it's been 5 years, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's
why
this should be coming out the week of or soon around our 5th anniversary.
Yeah,
that's insane.
And I know, I really wanted to do like something for the 5th anniversary because it's just like you only get one of those. Five is one of those special numbers, you know?
Yeah.
I'm old.
Old.
I'm gonna be 26 in 2 months.
Yeah, me too.
Christ, dude.
Dude, this is This is actually the same setup and room I had since when we began BridgeBrains.
Dude, I was 18 when we started. I'm now 23.
I'm 26 and I'm still here. Not much has changed.
I was 18 when we first recorded. Jesus Christ. But speaking of that first recording, that was our first podcast, ever.
Yeah.
And now we've made several, much to the dismay of our viewers. This is a podcast that's mostly for podcast enjoyers and us.
I listened back to that very first Cryptcast in preparation for this one. I'm just like, man, I've gotten a lot better at talking since then. I thought I say a lot nowadays. I said it between every other word back then.
Yeah. And also the editing, pacing, we just left all that was in the recording practically. You can blame Nintles for that. But now things are paced a lot better in our podcast, in all of our podcasts.
Remember when BridgeBrains used to be in a bridging group?
That's funny.
It is.
It is. I mean, we still do it, but remember when Cryptcast was solely about abridging?
I know, right?
I do remember that.
I don't know what the fuck we were thinking.
That was not going to last.
Yeah.
It was not going to last like 2 episodes. And then we just started talking about Marvel movies, and then that evolved into brainwatching.
Yeah.
Cryptcast spawned 2 podcasts after that.
Yep.
It spawned brainwatching and then the foreseeable brainwatch.
Which, by the way, sometimes I think about just like, you know, when Nintles left, I took over as host for Brainwatched, the revival of Brainwatching.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think like, I want to ask Nintles like, did I do good? Am I a good host?
I would say, yeah, you're a great host, honestly.
Yeah. Because I was
Aw.
just like, I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to top Brainwatching, but I'm going to do my damnedest to make a good podcast.
Yeah.
Your approval on the first episode meant a lot, Nintles.
That really did. Because you were to fucking Brainwatching. The whole aesthetic of that show was incredible. And the intro that you made and all the cool editing choices you did with that show, just like... It was like, it's like one of the best I've ever seen in any podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really went with like sort of like, in a way, like now, like kind of precursed analog horror in a way. Like,
yeah, it definitely. It's funny you mentioned that because when I started Brainwatched, I wanted to go with that whole analog horror vibe, but by then it was oversaturated as hell.
Yeah, unfortunately. But like I would say like what you're doing with like Brainwash is definitely better than what I was planning on doing before I left BridgeBrains. Like the original plan I had for Brainwash was that it was going to be a daily show.
Yeah, I remember it was gonna be like a news show.
Daily uploads and actually like upload constantly. But like I considered that being a bad decision, like a really bad decision, and I'm glad I left before I even like considered doing that.
It was an overachieving thing, but like it's
Oh, yeah,
still
totally.
admirable that you even thought of that. But it's gone on to make a really good series, and Cryptcast even morphed after or around the revival of Brainwatch. So me and Zay turned Cryptcast completely around from talking about abridging to talking about what would be stuff for brain watching to now just being a chill podcast where we just talk about whatever.
After episode 2, I think at that point we had like dropped the whole this podcast is mainly about abridging, and I think by episode 3 we're just like, let's just talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
For like an hour.
It always been sort of like that.
I remember in episode I think I still remember in episode 2, I think we went on a long rant about Sharknado for no reason.
You have to remind me of that shit. Goddamn. And Sharknado's still going.
No, it's not. Bullshit. Bullshit. You're lying.
It is. It is. It's fucking still going, and I hate it.
Let me just do that real quick.
The world will fucking end, and we'll still have.
No, the last movie was 2018. Surprisingly. Okay, no. There is like documentaries. Like there was a Sharknado documentary on Discovery in 2021. They thought that was a good idea.
What the fuck?
Make a documentary.
It's never going to end. We're never gonna be able to forget Sharknado.
What happened to us as humans?
Of all the franchises that could have actually Saw, Paranormal Activity, Sharknado.
What happened to us just as a species?
But anyways, another thing we did with Cryptcast was we turned it into an anime review show where me and Zay just talk about anime.
Yeah, definitely something I don't do now.
And it's much easier for me to do it in a podcast than it is to like make a review video. I definitely do want to do a review video someday, but like it's so much easier to do it in a podcast.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how analyzing, those analyzing videos. I don't know how they do it without getting burnout, because like, man, I recently just got Premiere from a legal source. I'm trying to revisit Adobe Premiere, and it's like, how the fuck did I do this? I'm just like... I mean, it's easier than like trying to use, what was it? It was DaVinci Resolve. God damn, like DaVinci Resolve is like a pain in the ass. Like I don't know how the most frustrating thing and most like mind-boggling is that DaVinci Resolve is used more by Hollywood professionals.
It's an interesting program though. I can see why it's used so much. It's just, there's such a huge learning curve.
Oh yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck?
What? You're talking to someone right now who is currently trying to learn DaVinci Resolve. Because I've now moved everything to my new computer, and DaVinci Resolve, I kept hearing that was the best one, you gotta get that one. So now I'm trying to relearn everything, because I've been using Vegas for 7 years.
Dude. The last time we recorded one of these was on Windows 7 for me.
Wow. That puts it to perspective of how things changed.
I'm now on Windows 10. Yeah, but I am much more happier with my equipment now. But yeah, so Nintles, tell a little bit about what you've been doing since you left BridgeBrains, though.
All right, so first things first, I have retired from abridging. It was a very cautious decision, and one that like I kind of feel that I do regret, but at the same time I'm grateful for. The production of my last episode of Kimono Friends, it was supposed to be episode 5. The production of that was like it wasn't even getting off the ground, and that's how slow it was. I had to like switch editors to like get this thing going, and I had like an editor walk out on me, give me the silent treatment after I requested them to actually help me out.
That sucks.
Yeah, that really sucked, and it got to the point where it's just like I didn't have the motivation to continue on. Like, I really did not, and that's mainly because I wanted to move on and create like an original anime. Because like before I left BridgeBrains, I was actually on the verge of like planning out making an original anime, and yeah, so things like in that regard, it's still like very early in progress, but I'm just like trying to work that out, and I'm trying to like fully fund that by myself, completely self-funded, and like I'm liking everything that is going on right now, and I'm very excited about it, but it's still a very long way ahead. But anyways, never mind that type of stuff. Last year, I had made the decision to start live streaming again, and I decided to become a VTuber. And so when I began VTubing, I had the epiphany that my lifestyle, doing nothing, not doing any entertainment, basically presenting myself as like a dead channel, is not going to be good for a long term. So I had to think of a way to get back into
the content sphere.
Yeah, get back into the content sphere. And the beauty of what I found out was I found this program called Fee Magic Mirror. And the beauty of this program is that you don't need a webcam in order to create a VTuber, or like to puppet a VTuber. So
technology is so advanced now.
I know.
You can do these things.
I know. So and I also use this like program called the Vroid, and I'm golden. So I decided to just go make shifts, just start all over again, and I went into VTubing.
Yeah, and you've done really well. And honestly, you started streaming with BridgeBrains, and that's led you to do your own solo streams. And much me in the same way, I started streaming on. Well, technically, I started streaming on my own channel, but those were really just like I decided to do them for the day because I was bored. But and also a couple were for like emergency funding, but that's here nor there. But I really got my start streaming with BridgeBrains, which BridgeBrains will be streaming more. I swear to God. I just need to figure out the shit with OBS because it's pissing me off.
Here's the thing about those BridgeBrains streams I used to do. Back when I was doing live streaming on the BridgeBrains Twitch, I have two things to like speak about. First and foremost, back around that time, I had like a problem with Twitch as a platform itself. Yeah, I wasn't actually gonna go into that like full type of detail about that because like I think using the platform ever since like I moved back in like 2021, I realized that maybe it's not all that bad. The other thing that was one thing that like was keeping me from live streaming for a long time, viewer count.
Yeah, It's a tricky thing, especially, it's not even just like, oh, we're not that interesting. It's that the algorithms with using these platforms is not the best. So it does not help us in the slightest. We have to do all this fucking marketing shit that we have to learn marketing to help ourselves.
That's actually one thing I still struggle with, marketing. Anyways, but ever since I became a VTuber, I learned to not let that deter me. And like, I feel that with becoming a VTuber, with having a model and stuff, you get way more confidence into doing what you want to do. And like, you could take advantage of like your visual presentation. And even if like you get one viewer or like only like 15 viewers or whatnot, it still feels satisfying because you're controlling a character. It's like a mirror of yourself. That's one thing I love about VTubing that like couldn't be possible with like, for example, a PNG. So like, I feel that just like it's empowering. That's what I feel.
Also, before PNG tuber was even a thing, we were already PNG tubers.
I know, right?
We were using PNGs. Even Zay, with his fucking Ruby icon, was technically a PNG tuber.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I am. I mean, we're still doing it. We're still doing the Pokemon.
Exactly.
And I'm still a little head. A little smiling Ruby head.
Yeah, and our streams made Zay even fucking attempt streaming on his own. Like, his streams with Cube are some of my favorites.
Aww. I am reminded of when you used to... You just reminded me of when you did used to stream on BridgeBrains Nintles, and I wish that Nier Automata stream you did all those years ago was still up, because that was such a fun stream.
Yeah.
Where I was watching the whole time and we were making all these jokes. Like, when you got to the theme park level in Nier Automata, and we were making all these jokes about Disneyland, where there's this one part where you're on a roller coaster getting attacked by robots at all sides, and we're just like, still better than It's a Small World.
Oh my god.
Speaking of Nier Automata, like I struggle to actually continue that game because like there's such a steep learning curve in terms of like the difficulty of that, and like it made me like lose motivation to continue on that game. But that's neither here or there.
It is a weird game.
That's near.
That's near here or there. God,
that's funny.
Damn. I meant neither here or there, but whatever.
Zay with the puns.
But yeah,
of course, Cat Girl has the fucking puns. Jesus Christ. But yeah. But since I let Nintles talk about what he's done since the first Cryptcast, Zay, how are you doing?
Well,
a lot has changed with you since the first podcast.
Well, before I go into that, I just want to say that Nintles, I am super happy to hear all that you've like made all this progress and you've learned all these lessons and stuff. And I was really happy to hear that you've learned to like not let internet negativity get to you. Because you know, that's a lesson that everybody needs to learn, and I always try to remind, sorry if this is going to get a little preachy, but I always try to remind people that, like, you know, we see so much horrible news every day on social media, on sites like Twitter and Facebook, and I try to remind people that, like, this is not a new thing. Fear-mongering has been the bread and butter of news since the beginning of time, and that there is so much good in the world. There's so much kindness. There's so much amazing people. There's so much great shit happening every day. The only reason you don't hear about them is because the news doesn't report on them, because that's not what gets the really strong reactions from people. That's not what people click on. So anytime you feel like you're scrolling through social media and you see all this awful news and you just feel hopeless, try to remember that just like you're only seeing a small picture, and there is so much good out there that you're missing.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my
You know,
god.
I
it's
agree.
important to remember that.
That's
Preach.
one thing that like my new anime. Actually, I might as well like mention it just a little bit. So the anime that I'm working on is called Crux Remembers, and it's gonna be like a tokusatsu inspired superhero show. And I don't want to go into like full details, but it is going to be like it's going to be like sort of political in a way, and I want to like go into that realm. Like if you know like a show like Gatchaman Crowds, like I talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
What my intention is, I'm basically going to be trying to do something like Gatchaman Crowds, in that we're discussing social media, we're discussing politics and stuff, and we're taking a spin on it and bringing in superheroes into it, and I'm very excited about it.
It looks really cool so far from what you've shown me.
Thank you. And
I love the character designs. I love
oh
them.
yeah, totally. Thank you. But like one aspect of it that like one of our characters is going to be like sort of a passive, is going to be like a pacifist in a way, and that she's going to like, under all this pressure, under like everything that's like going on, negativity and all that stuff, she still has like a very optimistic mindset. And that's one thing that like I'm very excited about, and I'm very excited to tell that type of story. And yeah,
That sounds really awesome.
Speaking of Gotchaman Crowds, Gotchaman Crowds, the bridge is still up on the BridgeBrains Twitch if you want to go see that. It was Nintles' first ever abridgment,
yeah,
and we still have it up for him. So
yeah.
go check that out. It's actually pretty funny. It's really hella dated.
Oh,
but
it's really dated. I made that with my high school friends. And it's like, yeah, and it was also edited, like, or at least the first version of it was edited on VideoPad.
What the fuck even is VideoPad?
It's like a budget, like, video editor. Here's a funny story about that. So, I think I mentioned it before, but, like, when I was working on that, episode, I had to, like, upgrade to, like a newer version of VideoPad. The only problem was it was a trial, and I couldn't, like, export the video using that. So I had to, like, downgrade to the downgrade version of a VideoPad, export the video. And the only thing is it fucked up the entire video, and like it led to like some of the funniest eds I've ever seen. Actually, there is a little Easter egg. If you see the last second, if you could like pause it at the last second, there is a link to that failed export. So it is available on Google Drive, and it is a sight to behold. Let me tell you, it is a sight to behold, and it is just like amazing. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Zay was talking about what he's been doing.
I mean, you're wondering what I feel like I went into pretty big detail about what my plans are and what I've been doing in the last podcast.
True.
I mean, since then, the only thing new to report is that I've uploaded my very first short film,
Hell yeah.
live action. I uploaded my very first live action
Nice.
thing ever to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. This man made original content.
Yes, and I still want to make original content, just not live action.
That's fair.
You know, I think animation is where my heart is at because I'm such an animation fan. I don't like drawing, but I love animation.
Right.
So like,
Even though you're you're actually a decent drawer from our Gartic phone streams.
J-Chip, you have no idea how much it means to me that you said that, because no one ever compliments me on my cool art that I post. Everyone's always laughing at the last picture.
You're a decent drawer. You're an amazing editor. You're a really good voice actor, even though you will never accept it.
Nope.
Have to beat the shit into his head or he won't understand. But yeah, you also ended your big series. All three of us ended our big series.
One way or another.
One way or another, yeah. I just stopped. I didn't.
Yeah, I think, aren't I the only one of us who actually finished.
Yeah, you're the only one who actually
Wow.
finished it.
Flex on
Me-
us more, will ya?
Me and J Chip just canceled it.
Bitch, that finale took 2 years to finish. I will flex as hard as I want.
Hey, I will say this. I did attempt a finale that wrapped up everything, and I just didn't.
I had a 5-year plan to finish it for I was gonna finish KFA for this year, but then COVID hit and then everything just went downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID, when that first started, it pretty much sucked all the, productivity out of everybody.
Yeah.
Because, I was on a roll before COVID hit. I was uploading a new video every, 1 or 2 months. I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm in the zone now. I'm making videos like crazy. And then COVID hit, and then the drought started again.
Yeah. And people are like, well, it's just you're locked up at home. What does that change with you making videos? Like, do you not know how much of a demoralizer this shit is?
It is a major demoralizer.
See-
In retrospective, during that time, it was like looking at the end of the world. It was so surreal. So yeah, no shit. People have fucking burnout, even if you had the most free time you ever had before. Just everything just went downhill in a haystack. And it took a long time.
It was like the inverse of when Pokemon Go first started. It's like the total inverse. It went from everybody's now going outside and everything is great in the world to everyone staying inside and everything's shitty.
I'm kind of an awful person for laughing at that, but it's just it's true. It's true.
I think it's hilarious that they even made a mode in Pokemon Go where you can set it to just be your area, so you don't have to go outside.
Wow. That's telling,
because that's how the world works. but yeah, that's beside the point. Luckily during that time we got VTubers.
Oh yeah, totally.
VTubers start popping up. I guess I can talk a little bit about what I've been doing since the first podcast. I said a bit earlier that I started streaming from BridgeBrains, and that led me to doing my own live streams. Now I am solo live streaming, both completely solo and just with friends on my channel. I have my own Twitch channel now, and it's doing pretty well, and I'm really happy with it. And I collab with Zay a lot on it, and it's really fun.
It's been fun. It's been real fun.
It's really fun.
And you're really good at streaming.
Don't do this to me.
I tell you it all the time. You should be used to it by now.
I do VTubing like Nintles, and it's really fun. And it's been a big motivator for me to work on other stuff, because not only am I working on VTube videos and VTube streams, it's motivated me to just make content in general, because one big thing with VTubers, again, is the marketing,
the content creation and stuff.
If you market yourself as a content creator, people are gonna want to see that you're making content. So this has motivated me to keep working on content. Yeah. For those that don't know, the original way that we recorded this podcast was we used Discord and OBS. That was shit.
Yeah, it's funny because I kept telling myself oh man, I'm never going to be, this Brainwatched is never going to be as good as Brainwatching. Brainwatching is untouchable. It's the best we're going to do. And then I go back and watch those first episodes and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing just fine. Because it's like those podcasts were so much fun, but goddamn, there was so much just long stretches of silence, and we were all talking as if it was 1 a.m. and we were all half asleep.
Dude, my proudest moment, one of my proudest moments is that Wildcard came in with the worst mic quality I've ever heard.
Oh yeah.
And I still made him decent enough for everyone's hearing.
I don't know how you did that. No offense to Wildcard, but I don't know how you did that.
Because I love sound editing. No one else loves to do it but me.
Yeah, you're actually one of the best sound editors out of our team, actually, or your team.
You really are.
Oh yeah, totally.
But looking back on the old episodes, I do like that we were like so new to everything. And now we're like all like in it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's definitely something. It was definitely a learn through experience thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. As it should be. Our first podcast wasn't going to be that great, let's be honest.
Yeah, usually it's sort of the same thing with like abridging. Like your first abridge will never be great. It's the same mentality with podcasts. Your first podcast will never be great. It's a learning experience.
Exactly. And
God, that just reminds me of something I was going to say earlier when you mentioned that like you started. What's the name of that abridge we were talking about earlier?
Gotcha Man.
Gotcha Man, right. Gotcha Man abridge that you started in high school, and that just made me think like, man, everyone starts abridging in high school. No one ever starts abridging in their 20s. It's always in high school.
True. It's actually very true.
It's because we want to be, we're just kids that want to be doing what all the big guys are doing.
We want to be the next Team 4-star.
Yeah, and that also leads to a better point because, like, abridging, inherently, I consider it like a hobby. It's not necessarily something that you do in the long term. I had to learn that the hard way because you can't, like, really monetize your content when you're doing abridging. I mean, I feel that it is plausible with, like, some abridgers. Like, I think T4-star always monetized through, like, t-shirts and stuff. But even that, like, you're still making content based off somebody else's content. So it's not really something that is good for the long term. And that's why creating something original, whether it be an original anime or even VTubing for that matter, I feel is way more productive because you're making it differentiate, like, it's you're differentiating your content in a way that it's unique to yourself and not just Demon Slayer, for example, but funny.
Yeah, and we still abridge on this channel, but it really is just a hobby for us because it's one of the side things that we do. It's what we started out with the intent with this channel, but it is really just a side thing now, which is fine. It's completely fine. The fact that we're even doing it and still doing it as a hobby is pretty remarkable. And we will fight for fair use around it all the way. So,
I mean, sometimes it really does feel like not to like bring it down, but it really does feel like abridging is kind of a dying genre at this point.
Yeah,
it's not what it used to be.
Yeah, like a lot of people like.
I say that as I just announced a new abridged series 2 days ago.
I literally had to talk to this man, be like, "You said you would not do this to me again, Zay. Why are you doing this?"
To be like, "Are you?" He had to confront me to be like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, but you do have a point because, like, remember, like the biggest abridgers of the game, Team 4-star. Even they retired recently. Like, whatnot, like a couple of years ago?
It was like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, crazy to think about. Like, they just, like, did that, like, years ago. I almost remember like it was yesterday. I
mean, they're still making shows like Hiffle.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, which, like, still a continuation of the abridged series. But, yeah, they have not... Well, and Kaiser makes that whole In Blank Minutes series. So it's like I was about to say, man, it's been so long since we've actually. It's hard to think that, man, we don't have Team 4-star abridges to look forward to, but it's just like they're still abridging. It's just they're abridging in everything but name.
Well, think about it in this way, like what they do now is essentially like SMF animations, like 3D animations, using those original characters. And I feel that's way more transformative because it's more unique to them. And so, like, for example, like, Toei will never copyright that, like, those 3D animations, because it's an original work. It's using the models from DBZ, but like it's still like an original animation. So
they'll still try to fight us on it, but they'll fucking lose.
Yeah, totally.
They'll be like, "You're using our characters." Like, well, have you thought about shoving this claim up your ass? Honestly, with BridgeBrains' future, I see it that just we're gonna continue doing what we're doing. We're gonna make things make abridgments on the side, and we're gonna keep doing a podcast like this, and then hopefully we even make other original content in the future. Because BridgeBrains is a really good brand outside of bridging. Because the name BridgeBrains is a really fucking rad name.
Yeah, like I think we made it intentionally to make sure that it wasn't like stuck on just the bridging.
Yeah, like obviously the bridge part derives from abridging, but the fact that we made it a literal bridge changes it up.
Yeah, totally.
Which, again, I want to remind everyone that that was sort of a mix between Zay's and Nintles' his idea for the name.
Yeah.
Because I went in a completely different direction with the name. And I'm glad we didn't go with any of my ideas.
I also had like a really dumb idea too. It was like just like the first letter of our like usernames. So I think it was like Teddy, Overseer, and J-Chip, and me at the beginning. That would have
been hella dated.
Yeah, that would have been. It would have been so bad.
But, yeah, and then BridgeBrains went from like this thing inspired by like zombies and like horror and everything to just being this weird creature.
Okay.
and brains.
Excuse you. His name is Eisenhower.
I came up with that. That's one thing I can claim that I came up with. His name is Eisenhower Brain.
Here's actually a fun fact about that. So I was the person who was actually like in charge of like the branding, like trying to get like the branding made and stuff. And one inspiration that led to the design that we're using right now is in Canada, we used to have this like network called YTV. Actually, no, we still have YTV, but back in like the early 2000s, they had these monster like characters used for their logo, and it would be like just grotesque monsters with like giant eyeballs and stuff. And they would have the logo of YTV on their bodies. So, essentially, what I tried to, like, get for the logo of BridgeBrains was essentially that. Something that was, like, connected to the motif, BridgeBrain, and have, like, an eye on it, and have the logo actually, like, spelled out on the body. So, like, it was something that has just always been in my, like, ideas, and it's just, like, I try to maintain that like nostalgia, and it's just like I'm so proud of the logo that we have, and it's something I'm like try to carry over with like my personal brand, Jinxing Media.
But you did really good with the branding. It showed that you had a lot of creativity.
Oh, thank you.
And honestly, BridgeBrains got me to be more creative with visuals. Not only again, I've gotten better at editing over the last couple of years. But I do all of our thumbnails now. all of our thumbnails are done by me now, and I'm actually really happy with them. Yeah, it's made it also, this podcast spawned another podcast, Beyond the Grave, which is literally just me interviewing people. I'm really happy with where it's gone. I plan to make more of it with my networking skills. So, yeah, the fact that I even got to interview someone that is Twitter verified is a really good thing. Yeah, but like a lot of big names I plan to interview one way or another. And then also at one point you will see interviews from BridgeBrains members and former or current. Speaking of, I'm really happy with our team right now. And I'm only saying that so it doesn't age really badly.
Yeah.
That because I'm just really happy that we even had a team consistently.
And you know, Nintles, I'm gonna keep being the best damn host I can be.
Yeah.
You know, in your honor.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're doing fine. Like our review of Justice League is one of my favorite.
Yeah, that's still a good one.
Yeah, and our review of Evangelion on Cryptcast is hella good. I got this man to watch Evangelion for this podcast
Twice.
Counting the
Oh my
reboots, the rebuilds, I meant.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
I got him to watch all of the rebuilds, including the last one.
I don't know if you've seen those. I don't know if you're gonna agree with me or not, Nintles, but I like the rebuild films better than the show.
Fair enough. Fair enough opinion. Especially considering the fourth one is actually probably the best, I would say.
The animation. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, things are going in a good direction, and I'm really happy with what you've done, Nintles, and I really thank you for coming back for this podcast.
Oh yeah, it's such an honor.
To celebrate 5 long years.
I know, it's such an honor, honestly. I'm glad to be back on the channel that I helped create, and to all the BridgeBrains fans who are sticked around for the past 5 years, I want to thank you guys. You couldn't have done it without your support. We couldn't have done it without your support, and I am forever grateful for this community. And yeah, not really that much as I could say.
Yeah. And again, I helped create this group literally just because I was bored. I wanted to make Little Witch Abridged, and I said, hey, I want to do this with my friends, but I don't want it to be on my channel. So we just made it on this channel, and then it went down, and then, yeah.
I mentioned it on my Twitter, but like when you created BridgeBrains, I was at a very low point in my life. So in a way, it actually, like, the creation of BridgeBrains helped me a lot. So I am forever grateful for you coming to me and asking if I wanted to be part of it. So I am just like,
BridgeBrains content motivated me to keep doing content for myself. So
yeah, totally.
I'm forever grateful for it.
That's just our lives in a nutshell. This thing that started out as just like, why not? Quickly became something we were all super duper passionate about.
Exactly, and we're still making shit. And you guys viewing this should keep on the lookout for all that shit.
Oh yeah, thanks for sticking with us for 5 years, by the way. That's totally a long time to stick with us.
Yeah, if you're one of those viewers that are still with us after 5 years, first off, why? We're mediocre at best. Second off, thank you. It really means a lot.
Yeah, thank you for putting up with our BridgeBrains baloney we put out for 5 years.
And it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better because we're constantly making shit, and yeah, and if you want to keep updated on what we're doing, then keep a lookout on our socials. And Nintles is still making stuff, so keep on the lookout on his Twitter and his YouTube.
Yeah, totally. Follow me at Nintles on Twitter and Twitch to watch me and look up for follow updates on my live streams. And yeah, not really that much I could say. I stream on Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And yeah, I'm really bad at these type of outros, if you can't tell.
It's okay. Our outros is literally just us screaming at each other at the end. That's what it's devolved to. It's like, you son of a bitch!
I mean, I think all I have left to say is that this is actually my first time actually speaking with Nintles for in years, so it was a fucking pleasure to talk to you again,
same,
dude.
bro. Just totally. I wish I could give you guys like a big group hug right here, but like
we're gonna do it one day.
Hopefully,
where we just all see each other. We're gonna all see each other and have a big group hug. We're gonna have a couple beers, maybe.
We're gonna share one big sleeping bag.
Yeah, totally.
We're all gonna have a party someday. BridgeBrains may not even be around, and we're still gonna have that meetup.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, when BridgeBrains is gone, our friendship is gonna we're staying.
Yes.
It's staying,
and we're gonna post a picture of it online, and people are gonna be like, "I remember these idiots." That Goblin Slayer parody.
We're all gonna be old men in our 60s hanging out and just be like, episode 4 of Goblin Slayer coming soon.
Okay, well, thank you again for 5 years, and hopefully we get another 5 more. Maybe not, I don't know, but we'll see.
God damn. What are we gonna do for the 10th? We have time to think about it.
We're just all we got become VTubers, of course. And we're all just gonna do our VTuber outro. But thank you for 5 years, and we'll hope to see you guys for another 5. So thank you guys, and I love you. Bye-bye!
Bye. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
We're not unreasonable. I mean, no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here. Maybe we should compromise. Open up the doors. We'll all come inside and eat